And it reminded me of the other day I was showing you how to draw a crooked line, and then I saw this card and thought, oh, we can draw a curved line and make a card like this, or we could fill it with butterflies or graduation hats or flowers or balloons for a party or whatever we want to do. So I thought I'd show you how to make something like that. I did one with grad hats here, and I was working with some butterflies from the gallery here. So to do this, I first got a square out of the basic shape. So I click on this triangle, circle, and square and type in SQ to get the square. So I've double clicked that. Then I'll probably go to my green mat and resize this to a width. You can resize it to whatever size you want, but I'll make mine 5.5 inches wide and 8.5 inches tall, standard A2. Press enter. And I would like to put snapping on at 1/4 of an inch for this project, so that when I want to, everything that I'm doing on this really helps to have snapping on. So the first thing I want to do is add a new layer for the score line, because this card has a fold line in the middle. So I'll click on the pin and just left click and right click to start and end the line. And now I'm going to select both and type S to stack them so that the line goes straight in the middle. And pull it down to the center. Now I can make that a score line by clicking on the color box and clicking line style, create new line style, and make a dash line. I don't mind using dash lines when I'm doing a nice long fold like this, but for pop-up cards I don't like to do that. Okay, and I'm going to hide that score line because I don't need it for, well, I'll leave it there for a second. The next thing I want to do is add another layer to draw that curved line. So I'm going to click on the pen tool again and just draw a line, left click and right click. Now, the reason I'm leaving that score line there is I'm using it for a reference to decide where I want to put my line. Now I'm going to take this second tool. If you don't see these tools on the left side, click this figure 8 at the upper left corner. And it opens the toolbar on the left. And I'm going to use the second tool here, edit paths at node level, or you could type F2, you see the shortcut there. Now what I'm going to do is just kind of go halfway across the middle here, like 1/4 of the way, and just push up to that. It snaps up to the 1/4 inch. Then I'm going to go halfway over here and pull down. So now I have a nice curve. And what I want to do with that is I'm going to hide the square, click on my top arrow, selection arrow, and use Control-Shift to duplicate and click. So I have another one. Now I'm going to use my down arrow key to move that down to wherever I want it. And I can use whatever spacing I want. I can still see the shadow of the card in the background, and I can see the lines. So now I can open that up and see what I've got. Now if I like that distance, maybe I want to move that one up a little bit. You can make it as wide or as narrow as you would like. If you want, you can select them both and arrow down wherever you like. Now once you have them that way, then I click on the draw the Bezier curves again, and there's, you see the little dots here? I'm going to left click on one dot and right click on the other, left click on the dot and right click on the other, so that now I have my curved shape. I'm going to hide the score line, because now I want to select all of this by just dragging around it all and click on Boolean Join, which is Control plus U, or the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 icon. This works only with two shapes. We have two shapes. We have a card and we have that curve. So when I click on it, I don't see anything here, so that's not what I want. But I'll click on B minus A, and now I see that I've got what I want. So I click on Apply. So I have this all in one piece, and I'll probably leave it that way until I decide how I want to use it. Now this is a basic card. I think I would like to save this in my basic shapes, because I could add text in here, I could add shapes, I could add any design I want. This is a good basic card. So I go to File, Export, and Selection to Basic Shapes. I'm going to name it Curved Split Card. Well, you can name it whatever you want. That way, when I want to use it again, it'll be there for me, and I won't have to look all over my computer for it. And I do this for any basic shape or design that I could use over and over. So to find a shape to put in there, I found this butterfly. It's kind of simple. I was thinking maybe I should try this one. It's going to be kind of small, so I didn't want to get it too complex, but I can click that, and that is added to my page here. Right now we've got the reverse, but if I use this layer, Control plus L, sixth icon from the left on the bottom, it'll remove that background and leave me with the butterfly. Now I just need to split it to get rid of the text that's on it, and I'll just delete that. So I have a butterfly that I can add, but it's a little bit too big. I'll click it, left click again and again until I get the straight corner arrows, and just resize it until I get something that overlaps both. And we'll zoom in a little bit there so we can see, because we want this butterfly to be overlapping top and bottom. And we might want to curve it a little. We can rotate it. So I'll click it again to get the rotation arrows, and then I can kind of curve it around. Now the other thing I want to do is turn snapping off so that I can position it exactly where I want it to be. Let's have it overlapping, and I like the size. I think I'm going to make another one, Control Shift and drag, because I can do this in layers. This one will be welded to the card, but this one can serve, you can glue it down right down the middle, and then these leaves can pop up and make it more 3D, kind of like this picture. You see there's a couple different colors on there. So if you save a copy, then you can use it to do an overlay. Now I want to have another one, so I click it, Control Shift and click to duplicate it, but I need to flip it, so I'm going to just use a second icon here to mirror. So, but it's still not exactly the way I need it to be, because the curve is different on this side. So I might even need to make this bigger. If I do, I want to make sure to make a copy of it so that the butterfly that goes over it will be exactly the right size for the overlay. So you can rotate it and kind of get it where you want it to be, and then Control Shift and drag gives you an extra. And then I want one in the middle, so I think I'll borrow this one. Left click, Control Shift click, and drag it into place, and now I'll rotate it so it fits. It looks like it needs to be just a little bit larger. And once we have all of them in position where we are happy with their locations, I'm going to make a copy of that one. And it might be that this one's a little bit too wide. I can change it. You can do whatever shape that you would like for the occasion that you've got. So I'm just going to drag around this, hold a shift, click on the bottom piece, on the top piece because they're still joined. And I'm going to click on weld, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10th. 10th icon, or Control plus W. And there we have the basic card. We can show the score line. Get rid of all the empty layers by clicking on the trash can. We can put these on their own layer and make them a pretty color. We can make the card a nice color. And we can change the matte to contrast so we can see these. Then you'll just glue these over. And you can add your little greeting, and it'll be a custom card for whatever occasion that you need it for.